Alright, little dirt bike ain't here today. He's at school. He got to go to university. So I'm going to work on this a little bit. I'm just going to tear it down a little more. I'll probably take this off, this shroud here that's attached to the governor linkage. The governor really isn't much on these things except this little vane, you know, and that's operated by the airflow. You know, the more air it gets, the more the thing bends and it'll give it more fuel. But like I said, we're going to make this water cooled, so we're not going to need this magneto or air thing. I'm going to leave that on there just because we want to start it up and see how it runs. But we're not going to be using that. But I could take this governor vane off and this linkage up here, and then take the fuel tank off, because I'm going to have to clean that fuel tank. It's not rusty or anything, it's just varnished up. I put some penetrating oil in there and it loosened up a little bit, but then I'm going to clean it out and put some lacquer thinner in there and see if it loosens up any more. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be taking that off, and then also the clutch. I'll take the clutch off. I mentioned I had a circlip on here, and I think that's just part of the clutch. I don't think it's onto the shaft, so that's just a standard clutch. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take, oh yeah, you know what, I don't know if you remember, but it has a stuck valve, and all we did was spray it with penetrant, and it actually loosens itself up. And it's working pretty good. You can actually spin it. So there's no problem there now. And just wipe the top of the piston off a little bit. And actually, from here, the cylinder walls look very good, excellent really. So let me take the clutch off and the governor and the gas tank, and then probably take the bottom off here, you know, because there's no doesn't have a oil cap on it. I should have an old one laying around. All these 5S's and 6S's we took apart. I should have a cap for that. But alright, let me throw you up on a tripod and we'll start tearing it down. Here's something you don't see too often. It's interesting because whenever you get these, this is always missing. And this is like a throttle. You know, there's a little, sometimes there's a little bar that goes through here and maneuvers that. But this here will hold your throttle open and stuff like that. It's interesting. You know, you always see the bottom half, but you never see the top half. So we just take that and throw it out, right? Okay. Got that off. I'm trying to stay out of your way because I know you're back here and I'm up here. I'll just take this vane off here, this air vane. Let's see these screws, because that also holds your coil on there. Okay. We're not going to use this. See, it looks pretty good. But we are going to use this just to see if it runs, so I'll put these screws back in. Okay. Put this in the bucket of parts that we'll never use again. Okay. Now, I take the gas tank off there. There we go. That's actually pretty easy. It's funny, you get something this rusty and you think you're going to have trouble with it, and then all of a sudden everything just falls off. Alright, let me actually I'm going to take this carburetor off, and then like I say, fill that with lager thinner in there. Alright. Alright. I figured before I take this and throw it in the cleaner and everything, I'll show you what we're going to do here. I'll try and stay out of your way. These carburetors are actually pretty simple. You have a jet and just the air mixture here. And actually this air mixture, if you take this, you back this idle out a little bit, actually all the way. This, I'll try and stay out of your way. Where you at? Move you in this way. This actually comes out. You can actually look inside there. And I don't know if you can see this, but there is actually a little bit of crud on there. Can you see that? A little bit of dirt. So you can actually get that. Oh, sorry about that. Actually get that off of there before you even put it in a cleaner. Okay, but only 2 screws hold this down. And the reason you want to take this off is you have a check valve in here. And a lot of times when things have been sitting, like 99% of the time, that check bulb, like I said, I'm going to try it. I'm always looking at this, I'm never looking at the camera, so I don't know if I'm in frame or not. So, let me get these screws out of here. Okay. Yeah, you have this little screen, and under that screen, actually sounds good. It sounds like it's loose. You shake it, sometimes you hear it rattling. There's a little ball bearing in there, and if it was stuck, then you would just have to, you could twist this off and loosen things up in there. But this one actually sounds pretty good, so I'm not going to mess with it. Alright, let's try and take this clutch off. We've got some 1/8" Allen keys in the back here. I lubed them up last night before we left. I'm not very optimistic. Ooh, you hear that? Cracked right open. Huh, that's good. That's a good sign. Good sign. I'm going to take them all the way out. Okay, wow. That was a surprise. Actually got 2 of them. Let's hope this one's just as easy. Okay, wow. You hear that little crack? Alright. Now I got my gear puller. Huh. It's funny, I lubed them up, but if you could see, oh yeah, the penetrant really didn't get down to the screws. Looks like it did on this other one. Alright. Like I said, I lubed this up. I got one of these 3-jaw pullers. Sometimes you need 3 hands to put them on, but let's see. Let's see what we got here. Actually, that wasn't that bad. Got my screw gun all set up with a bit on there. Let's see what it does. Alright, might have to break it loose. Let me go get a wrench. Alright, hope we have a wrench on there. Got my safety glasses on in case something jumps off and hits me in the face. I hear something moving. Yep, I see it's moving. I mean, that circlip was just part of the clutch. Let me see, I'm trying to move you around here. Move you back this way so you can see. There you go. Let's see if the screw gun works now. It's a little bit loose. I do have an impact gun, but I don't feel like getting it. Oh, there we go. Whoa, whoa! Easy, Road King. Alright. That actually looks like a good clutch. Yeah, I lubed that up. Look how nice that spins. I was careful not to get any juice on the shoes there. That's actually a good clutch. I don't know what size chain that takes. It's like a small one though. Put that in a pile. Put that in a pile of stuff we're never going to use again. Okay. Looks like it might need a seal. Looks kind of oily there, but we got them. You see, we lubricated that, and I don't know if you can see that. Even, you know, the shaft is actually still dry. So, you know, you think you got good penetrant and stuff like that, and just looking at that shaft, I thought it was bent, but it's not. Okay. I guess we'll take the base off now and clean that all up. Let me put some of these tools away. Alright, let's take the base off and see what we got here. Like this side, you gotta use an open end. Oh man. Oh. Try this other side. Excuse me. Oh man. What the hell they put these on with? Of course I don't have anybody to hold the engine, so let me stick this in a vise and then break them bolts loose. That's crazy. Alright. I put it up in a vise. That's what's nice about having a big vise, something that can hold something this big. Especially when you're working alone, you need an extra pair of hands. I got this one here, this one bolt, and you can't get a socket on there. You have to go with an open end because there's no room behind it. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, I got 3 different wrenches here. I got an old Craftsman made in the USA, and that's sloppy as hell. And then I got this Channel Lock brand, and that's sloppy as hell too. So I found this old wrench I got here. It's pretty cool. It's real skinny and real long. You see, compared to the Craftsman, and it's I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it. Probably won't focus in, but it's a Blue Point Supreme. I don't know if I get any closer, it'll probably get blurred on you. There you go. But don't even ask me where I got it, but the thing looks like it's probably from the 20s. I mean, it's got such a rough finish on it, even where the lettering is, you know. But that's cool. Old tools like that, you never know when you need them. So we'll see what it does. Oh, man. I can't believe how tight this is. I might have to find a metric or something that's equivalent to that to see if I can get a tighter fit on there. Let me get the magic hammer, see if that'll work. Put the Craftsman on there so I can beat on it. That way if I break it, I can bring it back and get a Chinese one. Yeah, it's not moving. Huh. I've never come across bolts that are that tight on this thing. Let me go on the other side and try and get the one with a ratchet. I can get a ratchet on this one. This is crazy. Oh, there we go. Wow. You hear that crack? Okay. Alright, I'm going to turn these off and see if I can find a wrench that's a little tighter that'll fit on that bolt. Alright. I found this old, not an old, it's a Craftsman. And it's actually probably a Chinese Craftsman because it doesn't say USA on it, but it's a gear wrench. A ratchet. But it's actually a 12mm. And 13 is usually what's equivalent. But this is a 12, and I think I can get them jaws to spread a little bit. I hate doing this kind of shit, but it's still not working. Now, alright, we gotta try something else. Okay, I actually found a thin wall socket, and I was able to hit it in there. So that's jammed on there pretty good. And with the right extension here, fits right in there. Wouldn't be able to fit in there without that extension. You see, it's just, I mean, it's just so close. So let's try this. That's why you gotta have a whole different kind of, a lot of different kind of tools. There we go. All right. Wow. You know, it's crazy. I mean, it's just screwed into aluminum there, and it's got a gasket on it. So I mean, how tight does it really have to be? Let me get my antique blue point here. I think blue point was a Snap-on. Snap-on bought them or somebody. I don't know. Blue point. Okay. Try to get in your way here. This other one needs a socket on it. Oh, sorry about that. Looked like I was in your way, huh? Okay. Hang in there. I almost got it. Oh, these are long. Okay, we got one out. We got the other out. Yeah, they are long. But you know what? They're also fine threads too. So that explains a lot. Still, shouldn't be that tight. Alright. Huh. Get down here. That looks pretty good in there. I don't have to do too much cleaning there. Got the gasket off too. That's pretty strange. Huh. Alright. That looks a little goopy in there. So we'll clean this out and put it in let it soak in some gas. Okay. Oh yeah, I see what's going on here too. Somebody just used a piece of paper or something for a gasket. It's real thin. Real thin in there. You don't know what you're going to get when you get an old engine. You know what? It almost looks like newspaper. Maybe there was an emergency field fix or something like that. Let me clean that up and look at it. That might be something interesting. Alright. I figured out why it was so tight, because whoever put this, they made a gasket. It looks like it had a newspaper. I mean, it's so thin. It's got writing on it. And there's not enough writing on it for me to make out what it is, but you could tell it's just a homemade piece of paper. You know, you could just pull it apart. And you can't criticize anybody, because it might have been a field repair, you know, just to finish a job or end the day or something. But what they did is they probably put this newspaper on there and just cranked down on it. So they cranked down on it so hard that they almost pulled the threads out here. But apparently the gasket might not have worked that well, because there's all oil and stuff all over everything. But like I say, you can't really criticize anybody. You don't know what the circumstances were. You know, this might have been a genius idea, and it might have worked. But that's why it was on so tight. I've never had one that was that tight, and I thought I must have taken 50 of these things apart. So, all right, I'm gonna clean this goop out of here, and then maybe soak this thing overnight. All right, I don't know how much video we got here, but maybe we'll continue on, maybe we won't. Alrighty.